episode of Wildlife Wednesday. My name is Julia. I'm the animal curator here at Oxbow Meadows, and I am leaving in a couple of weeks. So my time at Oxbow Meadows is coming to an end. I'm pretty upset about it, but to celebrate, I wanted to talk about one of my favorite things that we do here at Oxbow Meadows, and that is our alligators, or one of my favorite things that we have here, and that is our alligators. So I've got this little baby alligator. I'm going to bring her up and show you kind of up close. And then I'm standing right outside of our alligator pond, and I'm going to talk about them and the big gators and kind of how we work with those animals. So first off, alligators are I think they're really cool animals, but they are dangerous. So she's got a mouthful of teeth. They are razor sharp. She's got about 80 of them. And they have the strongest, once they're fully grown, they have the strongest bite force. No, I'm sorry. The third strongest bite force in the animal kingdom. So that means that they can bite harder. I'm going to talk about the noise that she's making in just a minute, but they can bite harder than any other animal in the world except for the Nile crocodile and the saltwater crocodile. So the American alligator that we have here that are native to this area in Georgia, very powerful bite, very strong bite, and again they've got a mouthful of razor sharp teeth. And just sounds like a squeaky toy. Just like a shark, they will lose their teeth throughout their life, and they'll constantly regrow them. So even if she's got some loose little baby teeth, she will make new ones. So they have a mouthful of teeth their entire life. Now, before we get too off topic, I'll talk about that sound that she's making. So, alligators are really unique reptiles in that they will actually, they make really good moms. So most reptiles don't hang out with their babies. They lay their eggs and then they never see their babies again. The babies are left totally to fend for themselves. Alligators are not like that. Alligator mamas will guard their nests. I think the dads will guard the nests too, but they'll guard the nests, keep them safe, and then once the babies hatch, they will guard them and protect them for up to 2 years in the wild. So this baby alligator, if she were in the wild, she would still be with mom. She would still be with mom, and she would be under her mom's protection. So that noise you hear her making, that noise is super cute. Sounds like a hiccup, but it's kind of her way of saying, Mom, I'm scared. I'm in trouble. Come help me. So if she were in the wild and doing that, Mama Alligator would come and see what's going on with her baby and come check in. So, already mentioned, very powerful bite, very protective mothers. Another cool thing about these American alligators is their eyes. So like us, they can close their eyes up and down. They can also close their eyes side to side. They have what is called a nictitating membrane, and what it is a clear eyelid that covers their eyes. Now, given their environment, why do you think they might want a clear eyelid? When they're underwater, they can close that clear eyelid and they can still see. So it acts kind of like a natural pair of swim goggles. So they keep water and dust and dirt out of their eye, but they can still see. I'm going to see if I can try and get her to show you her nictitating membrane. If I can. Do you see it flick? Yeah, that clear eyelid. I know it's kind of off screen, but it's really hard to poke an alligator in the eye and talk to a phone at the same time. So, nictitating membrane, they also have these hard, they're kind of bony scales that go all the way down their back. They are very powerful. There's like a suit of armor that the alligator has. So they've got really special skin also. And it makes it really hard for other animals to bite them or to hurt them because they've got this big suit of armor. So, alligators are apex predators. That means that nothing can really attack a fully grown alligator. Nothing eats fully grown alligators except for maybe other alligators. Babies in the wild have been known to have been eaten by other alligators. Small alligators will be eaten by bigger alligators. But other than that, nothing really messes with them because they are so strong, so powerful, and very well protected. So, I'm going to put this baby back, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about our big alligators out here. So out here we have 6, they're not quite adults yet, they are sub-adults, which means they're not fully grown, but they're almost there. So we've got 6 female alligators. I think you can see their heads. They were probably listening to that baby quack and make all those noises and thinking, what is that? So, we do have 6 sub-adult alligators, and it's very important for our safety and for their safety when we do need to enter their exhibit, if we need to feed them, or just earlier today we had our landscaping crew out here and had to weed eat the whole area. It's really important that we are under control and that we know where the alligators are and can kind of control them so that they're not, coming up and trying to attack us. So what we do here at Oxbow Meadows is we train our alligators. They have rules, just like any 5-year-old or 6-year-old. I guess they're about 6 years old now. Just like any 6-year-old, they have rules. Their rules are to stay in the water when people enter their exhibit. This one they like to test. They're not always so willing to follow that rule. If they're super hungry or hangry or cranky, again, like any 6-year-old, they might test their limits and come out of the water when they see us coming in. If this happens, we say, nope, not today, and we walk out, and usually by then they get the message and head on into the water. Another way we keep things kind of controlled and organized is we have trained them to come to their own spot. So each alligator has her own specific spot along the bank of the water. And to mark those, we use these colored markers. So these are just little rubber mats. You probably use them in elementary school gym class or something. Just I don't know, tell a kid where to sit. It works the same way for our alligators. So we'll line them up along the bank, and each alligator knows her specific color and will go to her specific color and wait there for food. It's pretty cool. It's starting to rain, so I'm going to wrap this up pretty quickly. But yes, very cool. We're very proud of it. We put our daughters out there for them, and they will go sit at their color. They don't get fed if they're not at their right color, so we only feed them when they go to their correct spot. And yes, now it's raining really hard. Maybe we should relocate inside.
Yeah, I can follow you.
And we can finish talking about, or just under the breezeway maybe.
Okay. Hold on, everybody, while we transport our equipment.
Good. All right. Okay. So, as I was saying, we line up these colored markers along the banks, and they are very good about going to their right spots. We don't feed them if they're in the wrong spots. We only feed them when they are in their correct spots. And they took to that pretty quickly. They learned how to do that very quickly. So now, sometimes before we even go in there and put the daughters down, they know right away when they see us coming, it's already lined up, which is pretty cool.
Can you explain why we only have 5 colors and not 6 like all of our alligators?
I sure can. So we've got 5 colors here and 6 alligators. So one alligator does not have a spot. The reason why, we had another blue daughter. Actually, we had 2 because we have a backup set. So we had another rubber marker that was blue, and she stole it. She thought it was food, so she bit into it, swam away. Once she realized it wasn't food, she dropped it, and it sank to the bottom of the pond. So luckily, we had a backup set, and we gave her replacement blue daughter, and the same thing happened. Then we tried a bucket lid. We have those big 5-gallon buckets with the plastic lids. We had a blue one, so we gave her a blue bucket lid. same kind of shape, same size, looked just like the others, and the same thing happened. She bit it and she swam away. So now, her spot is just, I don't know if y'all can see it, but next time you come to Oxbow, you definitely take a look and see what I'm talking about. We have a fossil of a saber-toothed tiger skull that's embedded into the bank of the pond. So this, they can't steal. It's stuck in the concrete. So that is her spot now. She doesn't get a daughter because she steals them and throws them underwater. But she's learned it. So now she still goes to the saber-toothed tiger skull, and she'll sit there and wait patiently for food, just like that's her spot all along. Yes, so once they're in their spots, we can enter their exhibit safely. We can give them their food if they're in the right spots. We've also tried to work with them on waiting. So we'll hold out a hand and say, wait, place the food down, tell them to wait, and then when we think they've waited long enough, we'll say, okay, good girl, and click. So we also have these dog clickers that we wear, and it's just like if you're training a dog. I wanted to see if they would react. They didn't. But we put the food on the mat, and then we click, or say, good girl, and that tells them that they're allowed. They're thinking about it. They're like, is that food? That tells them that, like, you've done your task, you're allowed to take your reward now. So in animal training, we call that a bridge. So this click is a bridge, and then saying good girl is also a bridge. And again, that just signals to the animal that you've done your task, and you can take your reward, and their reward is mostly food. You might notice I'm wearing this lovely fanny pack. And the reason why is we keep food in the fanny packs. So these are some things that we feed them. These are high protein pellets, so they're really, it's kind of like dehydrated meat, but it's made up of bone marrow and chicken and livers and all kinds of nasty stuff that the alligators really think is delicious. So we feed them these pellets. We also feed them a whole food diet of mice, rats, chickens, quail, kind of whatever we have on hand. Yeah, chicken, mostly chicken, sometimes chicken you get at the grocery store. They are carnivores, so they only eat meat, so their rewards are only meat. So when we're training them, we use these. Some of our alligators are picky eaters and won't eat these, and they prefer the whole food stuff. But most of the time, they're pretty good about them, and they'll take whatever food you give them. Yeah, so that's about it. Another thing we're training them to do is to go to so we call these daughters their station. So we say go to your station, or just station, and that means go to your spot. Usually we don't have to tell them to do this, but they do it because they do it anyway. But we're also telling them water. We're teaching them water, so that when we say water, they back up and get into the water, and then it's much safer than them clambering out onto land trying to snap at whatever is coming at them. So they are learning some verbal commands. It takes them a lot longer. Oh, I forgot to mention, they all have names. They all have names. We tell them apart by their banding. So if you saw on the baby alligator that I had out, she had stripes down her back. Each alligator has a unique pattern of stripes, so they all look different, except for two that we have that look kind of similar, so they're twin 1 and twin 2. But we tell them apart by their banding patterns, and we kind of use those as descriptives to give them their names. So we have Tater Tot, which is has nothing to do with her banding pattern. She's just little and it's cute. We have Tater Tot, then we have Ziggy. Her bands are kind of in a zigzag shape. We have Circle. She's got a half circle on her back. And then we have Twin 1. We have two twins because they look alike. Twin 1, she's much lighter in coloration, so we can tell her apart from Twin 2, who has similar bandings, but again is much darker. So we have Twin 1, Twin 2, and then Toad, who also, that name doesn't really match her banding patterns, but she is missing a toe on one of her back feet, so we can tell her apart pretty easily. So yes, they all have names. They are learning their names, which is pretty cool, so they know who you're talking to when you go in there. And again, that's another way that we stay safe and that they stay safe, so that they know who's getting food when and when it's their turn. I think that's about it for our alligator training. It's pretty cool. I'm kind of really excited to see where it goes in the future. I wonder how well these alligators will do with other tasks because they've taken to the stations, they've taken to the water, much better than I was thinking. So it's been a really cool process to watch. When we are open again to the public, please come out and see it. It's really neat, and whoever's here will be more than happy to tell you about it or explain it, and yeah, hopefully we'll have some cool videos of it soon too, coming on our social media. So that's about it. I don't know if there are any questions, but if not, see you later, alligator.